From the coast to the mountains to the Golden Gate, the city by the bay is spectacular from any vantage point. And for groups, that means venues with great views. We checked out two of San Francisco's best, starting with a restaurant that for decades has been renowned for its vegetarian cuisine and waterfront setting. Executive chef Annie Somerville has been cooking at Green's for 29 years.
Green's opened in 1979 here in Fort Mason. We're owned by the San Francisco Zen Center. At the time that we opened, everyone working here was part of the Zen Center, and now there are just a few of us from that time, and I happen to be one of them. And Zen Center also owns, part of Zen Center is an organic farm, Green Gulch Farm in Marin County, just about 15 miles from here. Green Gulch provides a lot of produce for us. And then I think the most noteworthy thing about Green's is in the very, very early days that our cuisine was just so extraordinary and such a breakthrough for vegetarian dining. And the amazing thing about our cuisine is that we celebrate vegetables in their own right, and then the ingredients as well. And we've always treated that as a plus, as opposed to looking for meat substitutes. So it's just the menus are very seasonal and featuring very local ingredients, very fresh produce, much of it picked up from the farmer's market. We work with local cheesemakers with great cheeses, beautiful olive oils, great wines, many of them from very, very small local wineries. And it just all comes together and just makes a beautiful cuisine.
The vegetarian creations are definitely a hit with planners.
Well, generally the people who are planning the event are very excited about having their event at Green's. And one of the things we consider is trying to just plan menus that we think will make everyone in the group happy. Sure that the plates are really beautiful and just the presentations are great. We're generous in what we offer our guests.
What inspires Annie as a chef?
Well, there's the amazing food culture of the Bay Area. They're all the farmers, cheesemakers, olive oil producers, just all the people who are involved in food. And then there's our staff. So we have an amazing staff. It's really a pleasure to come to work every day and to work with them. Just a beautiful place to prepare vegetarian food.
Ashley Pierce, Special Events Coordinator at Green's, says there are three main things that set the restaurant apart as a standout event venue.
A combination of Annie's food and our great space, our views. We have two different spaces. We have this room. We can accommodate 50 people for a sit down, 65 for standing, or the whole restaurant, 140 for a sit down, and up to 200 for standing. So we can do a lot with our space. We bring in different groups from everywhere, from weddings to just meetings, conferences, birthday parties, anniversaries, bar mitzvahs, all that.
Green's is housed in a converted warehouse at historic Fort Mason. It overlooks San Francisco Bay, the Golden Gate Bridge, and the marina. For more info, visit greensrestaurant.com. Just up the hill is another treasured venue with a view, and this one has been around for even longer. On the 19th floor of the Intercontinental Mark Hopkins Hotel is Top of the Mark, where visitors can see for miles. Mark Goza, Director of Food and Beverage, says the history is as intriguing as the views.
Well, the Top of the Mark is probably one of the first establishments of its kind that opened in San Francisco, this high up, and these fantastic views. Actually opened in 1939 and was named Top of the Mark because George D. Smith, the owner at the time, was meeting with Herb Caen, who was then one of the leading journalists with the San Francisco Chronicle. And he just happened to say, I don't know what I'm going to call the Top of the Mark. And Herb Caen said, well, that's it. That's what you should call it, the Top of the Mark. And hence it got its name.
It entertained tourists and locals alike, including servicemen who since World War II have returned to Top of the Mark for a drink from the legendary squadron's bottle. Celebrities were also on the guest list.
Yes, we've had quite a few. We've had Herbert Hoover, Judy Garland, Ella Fitzgerald, Glenn Miller. Some of these actually performed here. And then, in modern day, we've had Brad Pitt, Robin Williams, and some of the greater names in entertainment.
Meanwhile, Top of the Mark has long been a favorite for special events, setting the stage for occasions of every kind.
We've had weddings, we've had corporate meetings, we do lunches, dinners, we do all kinds of cocktail receptions. Because of the structure of the restaurant, we're able to section off areas and accommodate groups no matter what size they are.
With its rooftop location on one of San Francisco's peaks, Top of the Mark is in a class by itself when it comes to events.
Well, because of its location on Nob Hill, it's probably one of the highest vantage points, and with its panoramic views, you get probably the best views of San Francisco from up here. And a lot of the rooftop restaurants and bars have actually closed over the past few years, and we still remain open, and we're still doing really well, and happy to be so.
Top of the Mark is situated on Nob Hill and boasts 360-degree views. Landmarks such as the Golden Gate Bridge, the Marin Headlands, Alcatraz, Coit Tower, and the Transamerica Pyramid are visible from the venue. For more details, visit topofthemark.com.